Hello, hello. What's
Hello,
up?
everyone.
It's the Drop Date podcast. We told you we were stepping it up, and this is it. I'm your host, Elsie. Alongside me,
Reese, better known as Kate Crumbs on Instagram.
you know. Yeah, welcome to the podcast. This is the next step along the evolution of the content we're bringing you. We're looking at doing this, once a month? At least once a month. We'll be talking about anything and everything sneakers, what's going on in the marketplace, what's going out there, rumours, resell, hype.
All the good stuff you know and
good
love.
stuff.
Stuff you used to from the drop date. Kind of just an extension of what the website has always done. Organising the chaos and just providing a bit of clarity, dropping a bit of knowledge and showing people some love with the guests we get on. Just kind of appreciating people for who they are, what they've done in the industry and what they've got to say.
Guests is going to be a big part of this podcast. We've got an exciting list of targets that we want to bring onto the pod. Crack open the dome, delve a bit deeper, get to know the faces and the minds in the industry, and go a bit deeper, more than what we see on surface level, and see if we can't catch a few cool stories. Further get to know these personalities that we see online and around the sneaker space.
Yeah.
And if you, like you say, if you don't know the Drop Date, we've been in the sneaker space for 11 years now, organising the chaos and all the sneaker releases and drops across the UK and Europe. We've built up a huge audience along the way, and we're keen to put some faces to the Drop Date and deliver some good content for you guys.
Yeah, I suppose this is a nice segue to kind of give a bit of intro about ourselves. So, Elsie, go ahead.
Take it away, huh? Been with the Drop Date 8 years. Been in the industry a little over 10, 14 now. I started, I worked for the infamous London agency Udocs. My first job there was to help them with a project with Foot Locker, a website that some of you may remember called Sneakerpedia. And I ran that for Foot Locker Europe for 4 years. And then when that started to wind down, I got on board at the Drop Date, and I've been here ever since. I worked on some projects in and out of Drop Date, freelance, off and on, but Drop Date has been my mainstay for the past 8 years. It's been a good ride to this point. And again, we're constantly trying to bring new things, new content, new ideas. I guess I better hand it over to you, Reese.
Yeah, I'm not quite the veteran Elsie is in the industry. I think I've been working.
We might look the same age, but we're not.
No one believes you, bro. No one believes you. Been in the industry 6 years, I'd say, like really professionally, 6-7 years. Kind of started on just working in retail, really. Worked for End whilst I was at university, just in the store. Was fortunate enough to get an opportunity to manage the socials at the Drop Date. So I worked at the Drop Date for 4 years as a social media manager. Went back to End as social media community manager, and I'm now working freelance, just doing my own projects and just trying to have fun with it. Really trying to envisage why I got in the industry, what my passions are, what I really get a kick out of, and I quite like talking about footwear. I feel like I've got a fair bit to say, and I feel people are a fan of my opinion or kind of what I've got to say, so that's why I'm on this soapbox here, talking about sneakers. I'm probably most known recently for just, I've got an Instagram page called Kate Crumbs. It's kind of a personal account meets mood board. I kind of just share things I'm into, and it's kind of resonated, so there's that. And I feel I've got a pretty aligned taste with a lot of people like my age, and I think people are into that. So.
Yeah, Reese is definitely going to bring the younger voice. I may be a bit older and stuck in my ways.
Nah, it's a nice juxtaposition.
But it's a good yin and yang.
Yeah,
between the two of us. The passion for footwear for me started way before the internet was ever a thing. But
The internet wasn't a thing. What?
yeah, this will blow you up. My generation are the last generation to know what life is like without the internet.
How old were you when you first got on the internet properly?
I think I was 14.
14. Okay.
Yeah, and my email wasn't. It was numbers.
Numbers. Okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like LC Rocks.
No. There was a load of numbers, and there was very limited things to do. But chat rooms was one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there was one other person at school that had internet access and and access to a chat room, and we'd that's where it started, my internet journey. But yeah, the sneakers thing for me started in earnest when I discovered Crooked Tongues and the Great Forum. Not only did it broaden my horizons for sneakers and knowledge and just feeding the appetite basically, I made lifelong friends and ultimately forged a working career within the industry thanks to that platform really. Without that platform I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And that's how it started for me. Were chat rooms dead when you kind of got into it?
MSN, Skype, we had those.
Yeah, messenger services.
Yeah, messenger services. I wouldn't
but not
not
forums.
No, not really. Not really.
It's funny, like I know we have passions outside of sneakers as well. I don't know, one of Reese's is cars.
Yeah, I like cars. I like watches.
It's still
cars.
a strong forum culture in cars, right?
No,
and football.
No, there is.
But,
like forums are probably the one thing car forums I still go on those.
Yeah.
I don't post, but if I've got a problem, if I've got an engine light on,
for information finding.
Yeah, they're solid, they're spot on.
Yeah, it's just funny. It really died a death in sneakers, and it was literally the lifeblood of it.
Do you think Instagram is the new forum? Though?
For sure.
It's kind of just replaced it.
Yeah, for sure.
But
yeah, so passions outside of sneakers for the two of us. One being football.
Yeah.
I, for my sins, I'm a lifelong Man United fan, and Reese to this point has been very gracious in the weekend's result. He hasn't mentioned it too much. You might tell from Reese's accent he's from the northeast.
Yeah.
And he bleeds black and white.
Yeah.
Big Barcodes fan, season ticket holder.
Yeah. All of that. Yeah, I suppose just like run it back a little bit. I'm kind of like a lot of young people these days who kind of wanted to pursue a passion, and I've been fortunate enough to do that. Like shout out to Rye, I kind of wouldn't be where I am now without him really giving us an opportunity to like manage the Dropdate socials all those years ago.
Yeah,
and
that.
Yeah, and people I've met at End who like helped us like just understand the industry, how to move in the industry, and everything I've learned just about how it operates. Because I think you can maybe be one of those people who kind of thinks they know it, but until you've actually like been in the rooms and had the conversations and witnessed what goes on to make things happen, you kind of are so far removed that you're a bit naive to how things operate. But it's kind of interesting how like this industry is like really close.
Yeah,
you think like, oh, that's up there, that's down, this is down here, but it's kind of like a spider's web.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot of crossover. But yeah, essentially, I'd say my aim was to work in the industry and just kind of pursue a passion. I feel like I've done that up until this point, so I'm grateful for kind of where I am.
Yeah, and we're grateful to have you on board at the Dropdate
Thank you.
podcast.
Thank you. I suppose, given it's almost the end of the year, it would be wrong not to speak on what some of our favourite releases are. So we've got a couple of pairs each year.
Yeah, it's that time of year, isn't it? So we've brought a couple of pairs each. What we feel are some of our best pickups this year.
Just like some personal favourites. Yeah.
Yeah. Shall I start?
Yeah, go on. You go first.
Okay, I'll kick off with one of my favourites. It's the Union LA Beffy's Beauty Supply Air Jordan 1. I think it's when it dropped sort of start of the summer.
Midsummer, I want to say.
Midsummer,
I feel.
I knew I had to get hold of this one. And I'd we'll get into it later, but I'm very selective about what I pick up these days. But I definitely had to have this one. This is the first Union collab I've actually managed to pick up. I didn't pick up any of the other ones previously, but I was blown away by this shoe. I know it sort of divided opinion amongst Jordan fans, the weave, but I thought it was a really nice take, interesting shoe to apply that to. The leather is exceptional.
The leather's good. It's really good.
And I love the way they've finished off the seams with the sort of yellow. Yeah, it's painted or waxing, whatever you like to call it.
That vintage 1985 yellow one. Yeah.
Yeah, nylon tongue. Yeah, and then just a nod to
neutral grey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
it's really strong. And a really comfortable shoe to wear, actually. So there you have it, the Jordan 1.
I feel like that shoe's kind of reminiscent of almost Alpha Project Nike. It's kind of like one of those.
Yeah, or a considered line.
Yeah, considered. Yeah. It's kind of one of those shoes that maybe right now will go under the radar, but maybe it'll be on your favourite mood board in 15 years and people will be like,
yeah, so it's almost one of those, like 10 years ago, you'd have thought like, it'd be like sat on a shelf in the innovation kitchen somewhere that someone was just messing about with.
Yeah.
With styles. But yeah.
I don't think I've seen any material on this, but I'd love to know how it came to fruition. Like what the conversations were leading up to it. Maybe that's something I've glossed over and completely missed. It is out there, but
what if it was as simple as, I want to bring a footscape woven and be like,
yeah, maybe
I want to do this to a Jordan.
Maybe.
Can you make it happen?
You never know.
And they're probably like, yeah, we'll see. And then that's what came out. Moving on, my second one is the Jordan 4 Nike SB Pine Green.
I think we'd be lying if we said that probably wasn't number one for a lot of people this year.
We did some sort of on-the-spot interviews at Crep City a couple of weeks ago, and the guys were sick of people saying Jordan 4 SB Pine Green. It was literally 80%, if not more, said that. And I can't argue. The colorway, the execution was just brilliant. Such a wearable shoe. I'm a Jordan fan anyway. I have lots and lots of 4s. But the regular 4 is not always the most comfortable or easy of wears. It gets a little pinchy down at the front of the foot there. But the retooling that they've done on this SB version has made it infinitely more wearable. Yeah. It's such a comfy shoe. And it's one of them I had to stop myself wearing it.
Really?
I had to. I've got to take these off because these are going to be on my feet every day.
And you don't want to ruin them.
I don't want to ruin them. And B, I can't afford to get another pair.
Well, I think they're going for about 580.
About 5s, yeah. 5s, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably in a 9, and probably in a 9, maybe the top end, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't praise the shoe enough. Yeah.
No, it's a very good shoe, and even the collab lock. And
I haven't worn another 4 in the collection since
you got those.
Yeah, since I got those. And you say even as a sort of not really a Jordan head.
Yeah, I kind of regret not getting a pair. I don't think I would wear them as much as you've wore them, but I think as a product, it's a very well executed product. And I love green on footwear, so it's kind of and that's a perfect color green. Yeah, and I love the gum outsole.
Yeah, gum, green,
it's good.
White,
it just works.
Brilliant.
It works. It's effortless.
It almost it appeals to like the tennis shoe.
Yeah, it does.
Shoe crowd.
It does.
Obviously appeals to Jordan heads, the skate crowd. That's just mass appeal.
It's got like a nice Venn diagram of crossover.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
For me, what have I got here?
Yeah.
So didn't say before, but I love me runners. Stone Island New Balance 991 V2. Was really excited for the 991 V2 since imagery surfaced during Paris Fashion Week in January of this year, 2023. I was aware that like another collaboration outside of the 574 legacy was on the way, and I wasn't aware what silhouette it was on, but I did eventually find out it was on the 991 V2, and I'm grateful that New Balance and Stone Island gave everyone a shoe they wanted from the collaboration. They've been collaborators for a minute now, whether we're talking the original 576s, the fuel cells, the football boots, the 574 legacy, and now these. The black nubuck upper, beautiful engineered mesh, strong 3M detailing, Stone Island patch on the tongue, and I think the 991 V2 pretty
and through the sole, right, the translucent sole.
It's got the compass. It's got the compass deal. Yeah. These are pretty worn. So but
I think you've nailed it there. I think
They're good.
They gave everyone the
What they
collab
wanted,
that people wanted.
What they wanted, really. I have seen people saying they're not a fan of them, but we'll say less on that. It's
I presume they didn't get those.
it just works. It's effortless. You can throw them on. It's Stone Island without being in your face that it's Stone Island, and it's just cool. So we got those.
Yeah, I'm by no means a Stone Island guy, but I certainly tried to get my hands on them because I think they're excellent.
In hindsight, it's maybe one I should have doubled up on, because based on how much I've wore them, it might be a Jordan 4 Nike SB case where I'm like, I cannot.
How many games in the Gallagher have they seen?
They've seen a few. They've seen a few away games already as well.
Yeah.
I wore them in Dortmund when I went out to the game there. Good shoe. It's comfortable. And the 991 V2, brilliant silhouette.
Yeah.
I think it's just a nice progression. Because I love the 991, but I'd be lying if I said the end cap sole wasn't really tough when you first put them on your feet.
Yeah.
It's like wearing a pair of loafers. But without further ado, these polarized a lot of people. Probably one of the most talked about shoes for different reasons. Earlier this year, the Tiffany Air Force One. I think the elephant in the room with these is everyone wanted a Tiffany collaboration which looked like the Diamond Dunks, which in essence was kind of never going to happen. Tiffany as a brand moved far too tastefully to ever entertain the idea of such a thing. And I'm going to go out on a whim. I don't like that shoe, the Diamond Dunk. I just think I see that shoe and I imagine like a famous Stars and Straps snapback, like that old skate brand with the F, famous. That's what I imagine.
Old.
It's
coming back.
It's not.
It's back.
It's defunct.
No, it's
I'm
back.
Sure it's defunct.
He's just relaunched it.
Really?
Yeah, Travis Barker's just relaunched it.
Oh. Say less. Say less. But yeah, you got the silver ingot on the back, which is just cool. If I'm honest, I was a bit tentative on how that was going to work, like being applied to a shoe. But I have wore these a fair bit, and it's held up nice, and it's not scratched or anything. And like premium beyond premium.
Yeah,
like
the epitome of premium.
Yeah, it really is. It's a hell of a shoe, and I'm glad I picked them up. And I don't even like Air Force. I said this before. I'm not even an Air Force head, but I think when the Air Force is executed nicely, it's really hard to beat.
I think Air Forces are one of those. It's when they're bad, they're bad.
Yes,
but when they're good,
they're really good.
My goodness, they're good. Yeah,
yeah, and it's blacked out.
Don't comment until you have it in your hand, because once you get it in your hand,
your opinion may change.
Your opinion will certainly change. It's one of them. You'll get it so much more once they're in your hand. Like I say, the finish on the materials. There's no need to finish off the seams like that, but they've gone that extra mile. Even the Nubuck Dubright lace stay, the neoprene padded tongue.
Even the shape.
Yeah, the shape.
It's like it's almost more shallow, the toe box.
Yeah, and the whole package, like the box,
the branding, and the rollout.
Yeah, it's.
Last but not least, the varsity jacket that came with the F and F. If you were lucky enough to get that, as far as varsity jackets go,
those things are reserved for the likes of Haaland and.
I don't think Haaland looks good in any clothing, but he looked good. He looked good in that varsity.
You're
right.
He
looked good in that varsity. Yeah. So
yeah,
like as a rollout, as an overall collaboration, I think it was great.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah, LC, is there anything you grabbed which you haven't brought today, or a pair that you regret not picking up in hindsight, given it's the end of the year?
I picked up both cement highs and lows in the Jordan 1. I like those. I know everybody wasn't a fan, but I'm a bit of a sucker for cement, elephant print. I know people like to go one way or the other. Two in particular that I didn't get that I would have liked. 990 V6 New Balance Lapis Lazuli.
Yeah, I like those as well.
Yeah. Up there, well up there in contention for best drop of the year.
Yeah.
That was one. And then also the J Balvin Air Jordan 3. I really like that release. Yeah, probably those two mostly. As I like the Carhartt 990 V6 also. Again, it was a good year for Air Max 1s. People still moaning about shape and materials. I tell you what, shape on the Air Max 1 this year is as good as you'll have ever seen it. We've had some we've had some GRs come through the office, and the shape on them is incredible, and people are still out there moaning about it.
Yeah.
Like how perfect? Like where do you want it to be?
Yeah.
You know, if you're an Air Max fan, you like Air Max 1s, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the shape at the minute. You should be buying them in your droves because it might not ever get back to as good as it is right now.
Yeah.
You know, we're certainly away from the vertical toe. There's a nice wedge, there's a nice rounded toe, and there's been some excellent colorways. You know, the safety orange, like literally my perfect shoe. Bury me in that shoe. There was the Volt one, the yellow, tour yellow, pine green coming up.
Yeah, they're really nice.
They're perfect. You know, that's how you make an Air Max 1. Just switch the pop color, and you can drop those till the cows come home, and I'd pick them up in drives. Air Max 1 Big Bubble. I was a fan. I know it, not everyone, but it's a classic looking Air Max for me.
Yeah,
I enjoy the release. The box is cool.
Yeah, the box is cool.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say I'm not a fan. I'm intrigued. I'm not saying never. I'll never pick up a pair up, but right now I'm not really wearing Air Max 1s, so
no,
it's kind of where I'm at. I don't need a pair. I'm not dying for a pair. That money could go on something I'd wear more.
Yeah, we should probably. I'm very much an Air Max fan. That's a big bulk of my collection is Air Max.
Yeah.
And a night guy for
like through and through almost.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
80% plus of my collection is Nike or Jordan. And then I guess you similarly would probably, if I was to pin a brand on your lapel, it'd be New Balance.
Yeah, I've been on New Balance pretty heavy for like years at this point. I just kind of think they take the boxes I need them to take. They're comfortable.
Yeah.
They look. Ultimately, they're wearable. I feel like as much as I love Nike, a lot of Nike product isn't wearable.
I think people will often look at New Balance, especially if you're coming into it and they see the steep prices and maybe get put off, but you will never wear anything more comfortable or better quality than New Balance.
I agree. Which I suppose says a lot to how they've navigated the marketplace and how much market share they've taken up on other brands in the past couple of years.
Yeah, and their collab work and
the collab,
new model work is
collabs effortless.
Yeah,
it's
brilliant work.
The people there are so tapped into the point that they're collaborating with people that aren't on the radar for their brands.
Yeah, which
is really nice to see. I suppose for me, what have I got on my feet? I've got a pair of double taps 990 V6s on.
That was a very tidy drop.
You know what? I didn't like them at first. When I first saw them in hand, I kind of didn't like them, and and then I viewed it through the lens of double taps, and I was like, you know what? These have been made just to be featured in the lookbook, and to be like to be a colour match, to essentially just be like a colour match SMU for double taps, because there's no branding on them whatsoever apart from the insole and the heel counter, the support. But they work. They're wearable. You can throw them on. Yeah. And it's a shoe that you're not going to get bored of. I think, well, I can't put them in an outfit, which kind of dictates how I wear a lot of footwear these days. So those lapis lazuli, I was daft really. I should have got those. If I can get them for more or less touch and retail or a bit above, I probably will go back and pick them up, because
that'd be wise.
The navy and the contrast just really works. The first battle of our pair, I didn't hate them, but I was like, they're a bit frantic. They're a little bit all over the place and difficult.
Yeah, you kind of like them for standalone. You like them,
yeah.
But then you think, wow,
when would I wear them?
Yeah.
If I lived in a climate where I could wear shorts constantly, I wasn't that bothered about pairing with a white outfit. I'd wear them all, they're perfect.
Yeah.
But the lapis just pipped them for me.
Do you expect that relationship to carry on into 24? Do you expect more product to come via Action Bronson and New Balance?
I think so. I think New Balance are one of the brands to nurture a relationship as opposed to just present something as a one-time thing. I feel if you look at what New Balance has done with Joe Freshgoods, and he's got another 3 V4s coming, which are pretty sublime. But as for Action, I'd be very surprised if he didn't continue.
I mean, he has a real affinity with the brand, right?
He does.
You'd imagine,
and it wasn't just footwear; it was apparel as well. The apparel was pretty cool.
Yeah,
probably the most interesting apparel we've seen from New Balance, aside from Soleil Bembry when he was collaborating with them.
Yeah.
Outside of that, a Cold Wall 3i lug, the collaboration with Timberland, the navy pair, Gore-Tex pair in particular, brilliant. Nice casual shoe for someone to wear a casual shoe who hasn't maybe wore that sort of footwear before. I think it's a nice like stepping stone to maybe get into something a bit smarter and a bit more uncomfortable. But you got to walk before you can run. And
Yeah, I think in general, Timberland's product line these days, I think you'll surprise if you haven't looked for a while.
you'd be surprised.
I think you'd be very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some great looking stuff coming from Timberland these days.
I think even the way they're approaching collaborations and the rollouts are pretty imagery, everything. It's pretty well thought out. It's interesting, and I'm excited for what they've got coming in 2024. I think it'll be a big year for the 3i lug. Wales Bonner Samba, hard not to talk about.
Is it?
Well, I think to a lot of people on the street, would they not be regarded as shoe of the year?
I think you. Yeah. I think if that's your thing, then that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're if you're in that that pocket of footwear, that would be the highest rated thing for you. I thought they were cool. I've got some older pairs that I haven't worn for a minute, to be fair, just because it's winter. I don't really want to wear Samba. They don't have the best grip. I don't want to slip. I don't want to fall over.
Traction's a real consideration this time of year.
I don't want to be on you've been framed on one of those weird clips like someone's getting 250 off me hitting the deck.
I can see you in the chrome pair.
Nah. See you in the dime chrome Club C.
Iron Men.
Cortez 95.
Yeah.
I think it's been some good 95s this year.
Yeah, that was a good lot.
Yellow,
yeah.
The yellow stripe.
The Cortez was good.
There's some strong inline.
It's hard. It's hard. That was right at the start of the year, wasn't it?
No, it was recent.
Cortez.
It was summer.
Nah, Cortez was.
When was it, Luke? It was summer. It was was it May, June?
No, it was early.
Those Cortez 95s to me are really reminiscent of when I found out Cav Empt were doing a 95 years ago, and I was obsessed with Cav Empt at the time, but that Cav Empt 95 with the noise print was never what I wanted it to be.
10th of March.
10th of March.
10th of March.
Really? Okay, fair play.
Come
First
on.
quarter, you're right. You're right.
There's life in the old dog yet.
As I was saying, those Cav Empt 95s were never what I wanted them to be.
Yeah.
But when I think of a Cortez 95, and what we were presented with was the epitome of what I imagine that shoe to be. You got the Alcatraz logo on the tongue, the toggle, which kind of alleviates how short the laces tend to be on a 95. Colorways were solid.
Really solid. I know you like the green.
If I'm honest, I like them all, but the green's my favourite.
Yeah,
just
I think the blue was the pick for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you've got the pink, the violet pink ones in between.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like the whole sort of movement that spurned around it. It felt very reminiscent of the old days and what drops used to, the hype that used to be around drops that have gone by.
The Gorilla Martin aspect
yeah,
was
for sure.
great. Yeah.
The restock stuff was cool as well.
That was sick.
Yeah.
That was sick. Yeah.
That was really sick.
I rate that.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. Anything you're looking forward to in 24? Or you'd like to see?
I think more well thought out collaborations with collaborators, more thought going into it.
Yeah.
For it to be more than just
a collab for collab's sake.
Yeah, we want to work with you. We've got this shoe. Put your name to it, so to speak. Let's sell it out. You get a check. We get a check. So it's a bit more considered, a bit more
for it to actually be a collaboration.
Yeah, and for it to resonate a bit more, because I feel like some brands are really good at that, and other brands are on for whatever reason.
Yeah.
For strong storytelling in visuals. I that's what I appreciate.
Yeah. I think we've got some strong stories coming for 24. We've got, there's rumour of the BRS MX1 coming back, the Pata, Chlorophyll coming back. So, there's some stories already building for next year. A lot to look forward to.
Yeah.
So in the spirit of looking forward, I think we'll wrap the first episode there. Anything you'd like to end on, Reese?
No. If you haven't already, subscribe. If you're listening and not looking at our beautiful faces, can you give it a good rating on Spotify, podcasts, Apple Podcasts, or Pandora, or Deezer or wherever you are listening.
Wherever you get your download your podcast, give us a good rating.
Thank you for listening to a ramble on. To be fair, and if you got any constructive criticism, leave it in the comments or drop with DM. You know what I mean? Drop with DM. I'm always looking to chat to people.
Yeah, Reese at Cake Not Crumbs. I'll leave the DM interaction to Reese. I'm not sure. I'm not sure too many people want to reach out to LC6. So
yeah, but they can see the hole in ones.
True. Yeah, if you like golf, trainers and dogs, yeah, hit me up. But yeah, thanks again.
Yeah, thank you.
Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Peace out, everyone. Have a good one.
Peace.
Thank you.